They were worried about cold butt. Had to bring the heated.
Whoa, look at that reaction. Look at that. What do you say? What do you know? It's the Full Monty Sports Show. It is Saturday, 2023, February 11th. I am your host, Monty Perez, a.k.a. the Sports Whisperer. Super Bowl weekend. Want to thank everyone who tuned in last week. We had 33 states tune in across the country. We had people from Canada, Mexico, France watching the Full Monty Sports Show. Make sure to follow us on social media, on TikTok, Monty Perez 231, on Facebook Reels, Monty Perez. As you can see by our new intro, we are getting up to about 15 million views on both sites, on Facebook Reels and on TikTok. Not really spending a ton of time on Twitter anymore. Really transitioning to do more videos. Some of my videos have hit over 2 million views. Some of them have hit 500,000 views, 600,000 views, all sports content. So you definitely want to check that out. We have a great show today. Everyone and their mother is doing Super Bowl shows tomorrow. We wanted to beat you to the punch. Make sure we got our show in on Saturday. We have three-time Emmy Award winner Orrie Hicks going to join us. That's right. I said it. Three-time Emmy Award winners. You see them right here. Orrie Hicks is going to join us. And then fan favorite Amarie Castillo is going to join us. She is hasn't been on the show in a while. She has her own radio show now on air full time. She's going to talk about the Vikings and a slew of other issues. And we have a huge announcement coming up at the end of the show regarding the future for me and what I'm going to be doing. So you definitely want to stay tuned for that. We have a big, big announcement coming up. Happy Saturday, everyone. It is Super Bowl weekend. It's going to be a great game. I can't wait. But before we get into all the hype and everything that's going on around the Super Bowl, we start the show, as always, with the good, bad, and funny. Okay, so let's start with the good. I said a few weeks ago on this very show that this is going to be the most aggressive trade deadline we've ever seen, and it has been. It has been. We saw Hall of Famer Kyrie Irving get traded from the Brooklyn Nets to the Dallas Mavericks. We saw Hall of Famer Kevin Durant get traded to the Suns. And we saw future Hall of Famer Russell Westbrook get traded to the Utah Jazz. Now, LeBron James just broke the scoring title. And the constant theme with LeBron has always been, oh, he's chasing a ring. He's chasing a ring. Well, let's be honest. Kyrie Irving, I don't know what he's chasing. Is it a ring? Kyrie Irving now has been on 4 teams. Since Kyrie has left LeBron, they haven't sniffed the finals. And when he was on good teams, he was hurt. Since Kevin Durant, who is now on his 4th team, since he left Golden State, he hasn't sniffed the finals. So for everyone who's saying that LeBron James is chasing a ring, LeBron plays out his contract. When the contract is up, he moves on. Doesn't ask to be traded. And the best part about all this, everywhere LeBron goes, he wins a title. So people call him, oh, LeBron's a team killer. No, he's a team maker. Because LeBron James, everywhere he goes, has won a ring. All the Kevin Durant supporters, all the Kyrie supporters who didn't like LeBron. Remember a few years ago, people were saying Kevin Durant will have a better career than LeBron. Remember when Kyrie Irving left the Cleveland Cavaliers? They're like, he needs to be at his own team. Hasn't worked out, guys. Hasn't worked out. You guys haven't sniffed the title. Everywhere LeBron James goes, he wins a championship. And again, he doesn't ask to be traded. He doesn't bitch and complain like Kobe Bryant did, get me better players. He may do that privately, but publicly, Guy just gets it done. Now, let's break down the trade deadline. I think the Lakers got much better with Hachimura, uh, Russell, right? I think also the Clippers have gotten better. Clippers got three guys who can come off the bench and get you 20 points. Now, you may say Plumlee's not a 20-point guy. Probably, but I've seen him put up 18 and 16. He is a monster of a man. The Clippers have gotten much better. So have the Lakers. Luca said today or yesterday that the Phoenix Suns are the most dangerous team in the West right now. I don't know about that. But I think the Utah Jazz will now make the playoffs with Russell Westbrook. The problem with the Mavs is that they just don't have any bigs other than Wood who could score. They have no depth. They have no bench. So, listen, is it exciting? Yes, we said it would be the best trading deadline ever. I just don't understand why Buddy Hield didn't get traded. I don't understand why the Lakers, yes, Russell is a shooter, 39% from three, 46 from the field, but I don't understand why the Lakers didn't go out and go after an Eric Gordon. Go after someone who could stretch the floor. So the NBA is stealing all the headlines, and it's great. It's great. I love it because I'm an NBA guy. But I've been reading articles, listening to podcasts all across the country from people I respect. And guys, the NBA is in big trouble. The NBA is in big trouble. They are literally becoming college basketball. No one's watching the regular season. Again, I'm an NBA guy. Last week, I was going to watch 3 games at night, and because players were under load management or injured, I didn't watch. The NBA, to me, the regular season is unwatchable. Tonight, the Warriors are playing the Lakers. National TV. Steph Curry's not playing. Steph Curry's not playing. The product now has become college basketball. The regular season doesn't matter. It's all about postseason revenue. But I'm telling you, the NBA is hemorrhaging. Now, people will say, oh, it's because the players are speaking out. Shut up. Look at this picture here. Kareem, Wilt, Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali speaking out against social injustices. You're looking at arguably 4 of the top greatest athletes of all time in American sports. Many people still think Jim Brown was the greatest player in the NFL's history. Many people think Muhammad Ali was the greatest fighter. People think that Bill Russell was the greatest winner. He had 11 rings. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, his scoring record was just broken by LeBron. So look at this picture here. These guys having a press conference fighting social injustice. It's not about that. Hell, the Bosa brothers are, as they believe in the world is flat. They believe that the election was stolen. They believe that COVID's fake. And the NFL's doing fine. So don't give me, oh, because the NBA, the players are speaking out. These guys spoke out all the time, and they're legends for it. What they did on the field, in the ring, on the court. The problem with the NBA is simple. They have too many guys because these owners pay them millions and millions of dollars, and they want that playoff revenue. So they let them sit. They don't give a rip about the fans like you and me. So here's my proposal to the NBA. If a player misses 1 game, he's got to sit out that week. So, for example, you want to load management Luca on a Monday, he can't play until the following Monday. That's it. I am so sick and tired of wanting to tune into a basketball game and the best players aren't playing. The NBA's ratings are the worst they've been in decades. It's got nothing to do with players speaking out. It has everything to do with load management. And load management, that's the rule. Here's what I would do: 68 games a year. And if you sit out one game, you miss the entire week. That's it. It's like you want to go see a Broadway play that runs 5 days a week on Broadway. And 2 or 3 times a week, the star, Tom Cruise, is sitting out to rest his voice. And it's an understudy. People would be like, this is BS. I pay to see stars. Steph Curry, national game of the week against the Lakers tonight, is sitting out. Okay, so now let's get to the second part of the bed. Here are 3 things that I know to be true. One, COVID is real. I have a ton of friends in the medical profession. When COVID hit, their family members, their friends, their patients were dying at home. They were dying in hospitals. So COVID is real. We know that. Second thing I know is real is that Donald Trump got his ass kicked in the election. His ass kicked. Wasn't even close. It was a landslide. Wasn't rigged. They went to what, 40 court cases? The Trump administration. It was a con. It's still a con for you to donate money to the man. He got his ass kicked. He lost. COVID is real. And here's another thing that I'm tired of seeing and hearing on social media. The NFL is scripted. Oh, okay. Because a guy named Benny Cunningham, who couldn't really make it in the NFL, says that they have scripts, and then you have Arian Foster. They hand a script to the players at the start of the season. Really? No. If the NFL was scripted, why didn't the Cowboys beat San Francisco? Why haven't the Cowboys, the money-making machine that it is, won a championship in the mid-90s? The last time they won with Troy Aikman. If the NFL was rigged or scripted, the Packers wouldn't have lost to the Detroit Lions the last game of the year, because the NFL wants to see Green Bay in the playoffs. More money. Why did the smallest market team, the Cincinnati Bengals, make the Super Bowl last year? And more importantly, if the NFL was scripted, why did the Jets suck every year? Biggest market, New York City. Why did the Chicago Bears suck every year? You know, I was watching a movie about a couple years ago with my dad called Crimson Tide with Denzel Washington and Gene Hackman. And something happens on the submarine where Denzel Washington is in in command. Gene Hackman wants to, uh, you know, uh, launch nuclear bombs, and Denzel Washington stops him. It was the right thing to do. And at the end of the movie, Denzel's on trial. He thinks he's going to get, reprimanded. And it turns out Gene Hackman admitted he was wrong. And he admitted that, Denzel did the right thing and saved millions of lives. And my father said, man, there was so much integrity back then. When people effed up, they admitted it for the most part. When you lost, I was just talking about this with a coworker. When I was younger, I got beat up. I had a big mouth. I used to get beat up. It wasn't until I got older, stronger, took martial arts, lifted weights, that I started beating people up. When I got beat up, I didn't go after and try to grab a gun. I didn't go try to grab a knife. I lost. I admitted it. All you fans out there who are saying that the San Francisco 49ers, the refs wanted the Eagles to win, you lost 31-7. Don't be this guy. The NFL is not scripted. It's not rigged. I'm a referee. I've ref probably over 1,000 games, summer leagues, camps in my lifetime. One of the biggest jerks, New Jersey coaches, he was 13-2 when I refed his games, and I couldn't stand the guy. Did I cheat for him? No. Did I cheat against him? No. I refed as best as I could. So do refs have biases? Yes. Do refs like certain players and don't like others? Yes. But for you to sit there and say that this thing is rigged and scripted, are you kidding me? Do you see some of these coaches? Do you see some of these players after they lose? People were saying that this started when Cam Newton lost, and people were saying that they wanted the Broncos to win. It was scripted. Did you see Cam Newton after the Super Bowl? He wanted to cry. He looked miserable. He didn't want to talk to anyone. So stop with this BS that, oh my goodness, this is rigged. This is you sound like this guy. You lost, 49er fans. And it's not just the 49er fans. It's not just the 49er fans. It's the Dallas Cowboy fans. It's anytime someone loses, oh, it's rigged. It's rigged. If the NFL was rigged, the Jets would be in the Super Bowl or the Giants. It wouldn't be the Bengals. Okay? It wouldn't be the Bengals. So all these people coming out, the NFL hands scripts. Scripts? Some of these guys can't even remember plays. You want them to remember an entire year of what's going to happen? Stop it. Again, there's three things that I know. COVID is real. This guy got his ass kicked in the election, and the NFL's not scripted. Because my big market teams keep losing every year. Every year. All right. When we come back, three-time Emmy Award winner Orrie Hicks is going to join us, talk about the Eagles. You're watching the Full Monty Sports Show live on YouTube.
In 2006, we founded Yeti Coolers with a simple mission: build the cooler we use every day if it existed. One that was built for the serious outdoor enthusiasts rather than for mass discount retailers. One that could take the abuse we knew we'd put it through, out in the field and on the water. One that simply wouldn't break. We decided early on that production innovation would come from necessity and first-hand experience, not from market research and data analysis. Today, Yeti products perform when it matters most. Whether that be an excursion into the remote Alaskan wilderness, chasing redfish on the Gold Coast, or just getting together with friends in the backyard, we make gear that helps you stay out longer, travel farther, and live harder. Hashtag built for the wild.
East Coast Covers, creator of the Smart Commuter Cover, designs and manufactures custom American handmade quality products. It is the only cover with an adjustable 4-toggle lock and cord system, which lets you create the fit you want without the need for additional tie-downs. The cover conveniently self-stores when pulled into the attached backpack and also provides a pocket for storing small belongings. Nearly 42 years of riding experience are behind every design with a cover for whatever two wheels you ride.
We are here shooting Remova's latest campaign. I'm happy to be a part of such a great brand, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's in store. I just love the luggage. I love the quality of it. I love the style of it. It just feels fitting, to my travel. My travel has helped me grow as a person. I've been able to go all over the world and to see so many different walks of life, so many different regions in this world, so many different places, and experience so many different cultures and things of that nature. So, that's definitely made me become a better person myself, because just being able to see the world and appreciating different cities, different countries, and what they bring to the table. I think I've been so successful playing on the road in my career is just a sense of calmness for me. I love the adversity and being able to go on someone else's floor where they're most comfortable at, and being able to or try to defeat them there.
All right. Yes, thanks. Keep the comments coming. We're having some people have some problems with commenting, so just text me. I'll check my phone. We are going to have a big announcement at the end of the show, but what bigger announcement right now than bringing on the 3-time Emmy Award winner? That's right. 1, 2, 3-time Emmy Award winner, Orrie Hicks. Let's bring him on right now. Orrie, straight from the barbershop. How are you right now?
I'm good. I was trying to rush home. He's like, yo, gotta hurry up, man. I gotta holler at my boy Monte. Hurry up, hook it up.
Orrie, we did Ray's show this week, touched on some things, but let's get right to it. First of all, what's the mindset in Philly? What's the confidence level? I had this team as my surprise team, and as I said on Ray's show, week 4, week 5, I go, Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. What is the confidence level?
It's surprising. Usually in Philly, a lot of people are very nervous. Oh no, it's just bad luck. We don't want to do this. This is not good. And But surprisingly, I've heard a lot of people say, "Yeah, we're going to win." I mean, this is a new phenomenon in Philly. Like, I wouldn't say it's definitely not overconfident. It's just feeling very good about the team, the quarterback, the road, and the fact that I think people feel that Mahomes won't be 100%. He's still great, soon to be the GOAT. But the other weapons, our weapons, are better than their weapons. So I think that's where people feel very good about this team. They feel like the Eagles play their best, or even not their best. As long as they don't turn the ball over, they feel very good. And for the most part, the Eagles have not really turned the ball over that much this season. So the feeling in Philadelphia, surprisingly, being here most of my life, is that it's been pretty good. People feel very confident.
Yeah, one of the things that I really like is the offensive line, the defensive line. Because for me it was about week 4. I had the Eagles winning the division, but about week 4, I said this is the best team. When did you start to say, "Damn, this could be a special year for us"?
Well, I hate to say it, first test I would say was the Dallas at home game, only because, especially want to shut the national media up. Cooper Rush was just going to come in there and just whip us and whatnot. So I said, okay, all right. And I know their defense was legit. Shout out Micah Parsons from up the road in Harrisburg, went to Penn State. They're legit defense. So that was like, okay, this is the first real test. Plus, Jalen had never beat the Cowboys before. And so anytime Philly played Dallas is always a big time rivalry. National TV, NBC Sunday Night Football. I was in the stands for that. We jumped on them boys early, 20-0. Jumped on their behinds early. And, once Lane Johnson got hurt, Monte, I was like, you saw Dallas start to come back, gain some confidence. But when we needed to make a play, we needed to score, we did it and took the ball away again in Monte. So at that point, I said, yo, this team is legit because they showed me they can jump on a team. They showed me they had some adversity. And when they needed to make the play, the critical plays that need to be made, they did it. And that's the first time I believe, Monte. Like, wow, they showed me something. This team is actually legit. Probably the best team in NFC. So far as week 6, I'm like, yo, this is a legit Super Bowl team.
Yeah, no, 100%. Want to talk a little bit about Jalen Hurts. Win or lose, I'm going to have an article on this guy and just what he's overcome. You talk about Philly, Rocky, and just, being counted out. This guy has been counted out in college. He came out this week and said, when you guys drafted me, I don't think the fans wanted me. So all his life, he's been counted out in college. He got benched. Love to see him beat Brian Dable, who benched him. The head coach of the Giants benched him when he was with Alabama. So talk about what this guy, talk about the epitome of a Philadelphia story.
So Monty, put me on that list, man. I was one of those people that's like, why the hell did we draft him? Why would you waste a second-round draft pick, Howie? What are you doing? It makes no sense. And, I get it. Okay, he's a guy that you can develop. He could be a nice backup to Carson. If Carson gets hurt, then he's a guy that can come in there and fill in. And then if you develop him, maybe you can flip him and get some more draft picks. That's honestly what I thought at first about him. But with the crap that happened with the Eagles and Carson Wentz and COVID and then just disastrous stuff, thank God Jalen was just a calming, quiet, confident force. And then so I said, okay, I see, he definitely has that intangible. And then, with the way he ran the ball last year, it was not a great throw of the football to the degree of being elite. I said, wow, that's something he has to work on. I'm not saying that he can't do it, but I'm just saying I haven't seen it yet. And I'm like, this is his shot. He has to do it, And you know what? To his credit, man, he got it done, Monty. That guy works so hard. The team buys into him. The city believes in him. And Monty, on a whole nother level, Monty, just bringing like a racial aspect to it, to see a black quarterback celebrated. Because back in the day, I remember the rift between when Jaworski and Randall came in, and it was a cultural rift and whatnot. But to see that not even be a factor was amazing. You know what I mean? Like everybody bought in. They was like, get Carson out of here. We want Jalen. Jalen's the man. We love Jalen. Like the city loves him, man. Like he just has this quiet confidence, and the fact that he improved so much, Monty. Like he went, as we say, Monty. He went to the lab. He said, "Okay, you said I can't do this. Okay, I'll show you. I'll show you that I can be elite. I'll show you that I can be elite throw the football." And granted, Obviously, talent helps, but it works both ways. He helped them, and they helped him, Monte. Like, it is a great Philadelphia story to be counted out by, somebody like me and other fans. Like, I don't know if this guy can do it, and to say to shut us all up. I'm so happy. I was so wrong about him.
Yeah, yeah.
So
No,
happy. I've never been more happy to be wrong in my life, Monte.
he's such a hard worker. I mean, he's gotten physically stronger. I think the best thing, people say this all the time, when they go through hardships, the best thing to ever happen to Jalen Hurts was him getting benched in Alabama for Tua. Because he was comfortable, he was confident. He had to go to Oklahoma and start over. He had to go to Philadelphia as a backup. Humbling experience. And most people may bitch and complain and blame their outside influences. This coach didn't like me, blah, blah, blah. He just went to the lab, worked, and improved. And I love what you just brought up because I posted a video that two black quarterbacks for the first time since 1967, the Super Bowl has been started, are starting in the Super Bowl. And all these races are coming out. One guy goes, well, that gives me good reason to watch. And I said, well, the NFL's not going to miss you, dude. It's the most popular sport to watch on Super Bowl Sunday. I mean, imagine being such a terrible human being that you're upset that there are two black quarterbacks starting in the Super Bowl. Get a life.
Terrible, man. Terrible in 2023. We still got to, talk about that. And just the evolution of the quarterback position where,
Yeah.
Certain quarterbacks or certain players were told they couldn't play. I mean, let's talk about the great Tony Dungy. Warren Moon had to go to Canada.
Yeah.
The whole history. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that box is checked, and these young black quarterbacks, somebody looks like myself. My son now. Someday if my son wants to aspire to be a quarterback, he sees somebody that looks like him and believes that. Not that that's the all and be all of it, but it does help to see people who look like you, and your culture and share things that you have accomplished. When it's not a lot of us, like those are something that you can live up to. Say, see, he made it. Not only that. The fact that he wasn't even great coming out. Like Jalen Hurts was obviously, good at Alabama, but the story, right now the story is like, that's the dude that got benched for Tua.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think most people think like that's the guy that got benched by Tua, and then last year got cooked by the GOAT Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, good, very fair points. Again, story of comeback, story of just, you get knocked down, you get back up. Okay, Orrie, listen, your son doesn't have to look any further. He's just got to look at your shelf there with the 3 Emmys. That's what I'm aspiring to. Emmy in broadcasting, baby. Talk to people because a lot of people were asking me, wow, does he really have 3? I'm like, I'm not making it up.
I do. So I work for a local television station here in the Philadelphia area. I'm a newscast director. That means I direct our live program, our live shows, and some shows we submit for Emmys, and to be honored. First of all, to be nominated is great. So every region of the country has their own Emmy award. So I won an Emmy award in the Mid-Atlantic region, and to go up against a lot of stations, in this area, and to win. I mean, it's a lot, and I'm very, very happy. And our last Emmy that I won was I directed a Phillies opening day show during COVID last year. So so I was like, wow, to win an Emmy and then the Phillies go to the World Series, like that was just like extra special to me, So yeah, been in the business over 20 plus years as a behind the scenes director, telling people where to go, camera cues, audio, things like that. So I'm very happy, very blessed, and very to be honored to have received this these Emmys, and it's cool. You know what I mean?
Listen,
it is cool.
you're not going to say it because you're too humble. It's great to be honored. F that. It's better to win. It's great to go to this. It's great to go to the Super Bowl, but it's better to win it. So
That part.
congratulations. All right, let's break this game down. I saw this stat and I really couldn't believe it because you talk about weapons. Yes, Philly has more weapons, no doubt. But listen to this, Orrie. Travis Kelce, the tight end for Kansas City, he's played in 17 playoff games, 127 catches, 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns. We talked about this a little bit during the week. How is Travis Kelce always open?
I don't know. So I heard that him and like Mahomes has this like secret thing where they know nobody else knows. They just have this secret thing where he knows where he's going, and he just goes there. Like they play this weird, like you can't even defend the type of football. I don't know. I mean, but obviously he's the guy that you got to take off. I'm not letting Kelsey beat me. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. If I have to double team him, I have to bracket him, have to push him around, have to be physical, whatever the case is, I'm not letting him get 8 catches for 150 yards or key third down conversions. That's where he kills you on the third downs, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5s, right over the middle. He kills you to keep those drives alive. I'm not letting that happen. Somebody else is going to have to do it. Juju, you're going to have to do it. McKinnon, you're going to have to do it. I'm not letting Kelsey get more than 2 or 3. That's not happening. No way, no how.
Listen, you bring up a good point because, last year they called plays with 13 seconds left, and they said Kelsey and him looked at each other, and I'm posting this thing. It's like a Jedi mind trick, right? It's like they don't have to, like they say, we don't have to talk to each other. We just give each other a look. What the hell is that? Are they from the future?
That's something that they developed. That's like that, that brotherhood that they've got going on. That's that I would hope that I know a lot of quarterbacks have these signals and they audible and they say, these hand signals and you to go there and you go there. But maybe that's the new thing. Maybe that's the new generation of how you can also
communicate
yourself even more elite, have these nonverbal eye rolls, touch your nose.
Orrie, do you think a lot of this has to do with Travis Kelce being a former quarterback, so he understands reads, routes, and how to adjust better than most tight ends?
Yes, you know what? And what's very interesting, so when we had Greg Ward, Monte, I don't know if you remember, he was an undrafted receiver that played quarterback in Houston for the Eagles.
Yeah.
They said the same thing. Like, the reason why him and Carson Wentz had a great connection is because he played quarterback and he knew the route. Like, he knew where Carson was going. He knew where to go because he had the mind of a quarterback and whatnot. So I think there is some truth to that, knowing that like that actually happened in Philadelphia. Greg Ward, obviously not a level at Kelsey, but for him to even do that is amazing. So yes, I agree with you on that. I believe that is true.
So you got the cut, looking sharp. Are you going to the Super Bowl?
Yes, sir. I'm heading out there. My flight leaves at 6:20 a.m. I land at 9:55 Phoenix time. Still working on tickets. If y'all want to help a brother out, hit me up. The ticket prices, I'm waiting for them to drop. It's like the price is right, Monty. A little bit too high. I'm not ready to fish yet, but as soon as I get to that part, boom, I'm gonna get it. So at least I have a chance. I'll go out there, and if it's a price that I feel that it's affordable and doable, where I'm not trading my son's his future away. My wife will, make her not mad at me and whatnot, then I'm gonna go. But yeah, we don't always get these opportunities in life. The Eagles, this would be the Eagles' 4th Super Bowl. I was alive for the first one. I was too young to remember. The one in Jacksonville I had a chance to go to, but I didn't go. The one in Minnesota, I chose. I'm not going to Minnesota. And I was like, you know what? This has happened again. I got to go. I don't know how many more of these opportunities I'm going to get. So to at least be out there with a chance to get a ticket and go to the Super Bowl, I'm so looking forward to it. It'll be a different kind of experience, something that I'll always remember. And, I'm just hoping for a great time. I'm hoping for another Super Bowl victory. And maybe the Eagles, we should be talking about the Eagles as the beginning of a dynasty, because that'd be 2 Super Bowls in 5 years. So I know to talk about Kansas City.
With 2 different coaches. So you bring up a point and we'll get to that. Orrie, what happens if you don't get a ticket? Where will you watch the game?
So we got a couple of options. So there's definitely a viewing party like in downtown Phoenix. There are viewing parties in Scottsdale.
Scottsdale's great. I've been there. Scottsdale's great.
Absolutely. Me and my friend were just talking about, because my friend, he's driving up from Baltimore, not driving up from Baltimore, but he's from Baltimore. He's going to pick me up, and we're probably going to head to the stadium because there are viewing parties out there. In fact, I hear the local residents are selling their garage spaces.
Yes,
a couple bucks. Cook you some food, throw some food on the grill and whatnot. Give them a couple $56, whatever. You know what I mean? That could be fun. I'm looking for something that's fun to do, something I've never done before. So, I'm gonna nail that down tomorrow. I'm hoping I'll find out tonight if I have the tickets from a connection that I'm trying to get, and if not, I'll see what they are tomorrow. And if not, then plan B is to go to a viewing party. Hopefully, we're Eagles fans. I know there's one spot where there's exclusive Eagles fans, so I think I might want to be around them. And let's go. Let's see what happens.
All right. So someone who's grew up an Eagles fan. I obviously grew up in New Jersey, but I watched the NFL my whole life. Am I crazy for saying this? Because I said this and people thought I was crazy. Is this the first time in your life that the Eagles are going into the Super Bowl and you could say, hey, we're the favorite, we're confident. It's almost every other Super Bowl, you were just happy to be there.
Well, so last year, 2017, obviously I knew the Eagles were a good team, and then obviously with Carson Wentz going down, you're like, man, and then Nick Foles have been playing good, but then you're like, okay, now this is against the GOAT, this is against Tom Brady. Can Nick Foles do it again? So I think it was kind of that, like I saw Nick do it, I know he can do it, but I don't know. This is Brady and Belichick. So it was kind of like that. The one before with McNabb and Brady and Belichick.
Yeah,
exactly. I really felt in my heart that the Eagles were going to win that Super Bowl. Obviously,
really?
I did, man. Because you got to think about it, Monte. Up until then, I mean, I was just like, I just felt like the way the Eagles had knocked on the door, Monte, I thought it was going to be like one of those. This is what we've suffered for. Suffering all those years. Monte, we had lost 4 straight NFC championship games. So I'm going with the story, Monte, right? I'm thinking story more than anything, feeling, spiritual, all that good stuff. Like, this is why I suffered. This is I'm like it's all me. But most of us Eagles fans suffered. This is what it was for. It was to suffer to get to this, Monte. And I was wrong.
Well, and I remember that hold on, let me get the camera. I remember going into that game, you're thinking, okay, Andy Reid finally going to get over the hump, but he played great, but his ankle, Terrell Owens' ankle was a mess before the Super Bowl.
Right. And the fact when T.O. caught that first pass, like that, I think that's what really helped me. When T.O. caught that long pass and went down the sideline and he was flapping his arms and whatnot, I was like, yo, we're going to win this game.
They couldn't stop him. They couldn't stop him. Bill Belichick could not stop T.O. that day.
No, absolutely not. So I thought, like I said, going into the game was the team of destiny. And then when I saw T.O. make that play, then I believe Monte. I was like, oh, Eagles going to win this game. We're going to win this game. And it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen.
So your mindset's different, right? Like, you're more confident than you've ever been.
I feel very good. I won't say, because like I said, you got that. It seems like the Eagles always got to go against these GOAT quarterbacks, man. I will not go overconfident. Because that guy Mahomes is different. He's different. So logically, I know in the back of my mind, like, he can make a play and win the game. When you think you got him tackled, when you think you got him sacked, he gets that big third down conversion. But I feel very, very good. I feel very good because I got the other guy on the other side who's disciplined. I got a good defense, and we win in the trenches. I feel good about our trenches.
Yeah.
As long as we stick to the game plan, I feel good. I wouldn't say overconfident. I just feel very, very good, Monte, whatever that translates.
I think the second half, you're going to see the Eagles do more running, and they're going to do what they did to San Francisco, wear them down. I have the Eagles winning this game just because they have the best sack group in the NFL with 70. Chiefs were second with 55, so they could get to the quarterback. I don't think Mahomes is 100% healthy, but I just think, like you said, offensive line, defensive line is where they win. I have it 31-27. How do you have this game? Give us a score.
Yeah, my score is very similar. I'm going to go 33-24. I think that the Eagles can, if they can control the game, I think Pat Mahomes is going to make it interesting. It might be like a 27-24 in the fourth quarter. The Eagles need to convert a third down. They do. They get down the field. They get that first down, and then we're all relieved. And then that's it. And there's not enough time left. Wouldn't it be great if Brandon Graham gets another sack, man? Sack Pat Mahomes to win that. Man, I would lose my mind. Hopefully, and my guy Hassan Reddick from my alma mater, Temple University. I hope he causes havoc. I hope he beats the hell out of whoever. I hope they double team him, and that just opens it up for everybody else. And we just make Mahomes' life miserable all day. He's still the GOAT. He's still going to get off, phenomenal. But we got to make him miserable, uncomfortable.
Yeah. I really believe that I'm very confident. I think the Eagles they win this game on the offensive and defensive line. And again, the Eagles have 2 draft picks coming up in the first round, so they should be good for years to come. All right, Orrie. So you and I are getting along with this Eagle chat, but I got to call you out here on something that you said on Ray's show. Orrie, you're not a fanboy. You are a realistic fan, whether it's the Phillies, the 76ers, the Eagles. But Orrie, come on, man. You cannot think that these two are better than Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. You cannot think that this guy and the Philadelphia 76ers, who I love Joel Embiid, but they are nowhere near the Bucks when they're healthy or the Celtics. Come on, Orrie. I know the Phillies went to the World Series. I know you can't have everything. Come on, Orrie. This team is not
Well,
a legitimate NBA championship team. Come on.
Well, I'll say this. You're right. I mean, Tatum and Brown, obviously, they've knocked on the door. They got to the final. Sixers cannot get past the second round. We're like the Dallas Cowboys. We can't get to the conference championship game. I get it. But I think Joel Embiid, out of those four, who's the best player? Joel Embiid is clearly better than all of those guys. I know Tatum is having a great year. I know he's having an MVP conversation, but I'm sorry. Joel Embiid is the best player in the NBA, in my opinion. You saw what he did to
Yes.
You saw but and Harden has worked really, really hard. You know what, Monte? I think you got to put the three. You got to put Maxey up there. So it's gonna be R3 against their two and Milwaukee's if Middleton is healthy. When I put Maxey in the mix of that, Monte. So just not Harden and Embiid, but you got to put Maxey in there. It gives us a shot. But I understand because they haven't done it yet. Then right, you can't say that the Sixers are legit because they just haven't done it yet. But I think when you throw Maxey in there, that's what I'm banking on, Monte. I'm banking on Maxey being that as he rises the X factor to finally help those guys get over the hump.
I don't like Maxey coming off the bench. I didn't
I
like
agree.
that move. And if I'm a Boston Celtic fan and I'm going to take a shot at Doc Rivers here, I want the Sixers to go up 3-1 because once Doc Rivers is up 3-1, he loses more games than any coach in the history of the NBA. So, I mean, come on, man. Yeah, again, I love Embiid, but I look at Boston and I look at Milwaukee's depth, and you have 7, 8, 9 guys. Who's getting you points off the bench if you're a Sixer fan?
Well, I think Melton. I think Melton will go back to the bench. Melton's been a great addition.
Yes.
Shake Milton. You know, he's I remember game 2 against Atlanta. You know, he got off in the playoffs. You know, like he has that as Clark Kellogg says, he has spurt ability. He has a spurt ability. And so those are the two guys. I mean, when it gets down to the playoffs, you knock it down to about seven or 8 players and whatnot. I think that we're going to need some help with I can't remember our backup center. But we're going to need some help there, grabbing the boards, you know, giving Joel a break. I don't know, Monte. I think in the playoffs is about the stars, right? The bench gets you kind of through the regular season. Right, they get you through the regular season, but in the playoffs, it's about the stars. So that's what I'm betting. So I'm going back to my 3, Monte. I'm banking on the big 3, not really a true big 3, but that are big 3. I'm banking on that big 3 getting us over the hump. That's what I'm holding. That's what I'm putting my money on, Monte. I'm not putting a lot of money on it, but I'm hoping that the Sixers can at least get to the conference finals. Can we please beat Milwaukee or Boston just to get to the conference final? I'll be happy with that, Monte.
Orrie, you went to the World Series. You're going to the Super Bowl. Orrie, you can't have it all, man. You can't. Stop being so greedy. I'm a Knicks fan.
Right. Monte, so listen to this, right? I said this to my coworkers the other day. I've seen all my teams, I mean, literally all my teams, with the exception of the Flyers. I was a baby, but literally see all the teams win a championship. But Monte, the one thing we don't have in Philadelphia is I've never seen a dynasty, right?
Yeah.
So the Sixers had a chance to be a dynasty back in the late 70s, early 80s. The Phillies the same way. The Eagles in early 2000. Monte, that is my last thing as a sports fan, as a sports-aholic, is I want to see my city, my team be a dynasty. Hell, my wife is from Pittsburgh. She knows what a dynasty is like. You know what I mean? Like, my friends in Boston, they know what it's like. You're a Yankee fan, you know what it's like. Even Washington football team fans, they won like 3 Super Bowls in like 8 years or something like that.
With one coach and 3 different quarterbacks.
Right. So can I have so when you say that, I'll say, Monte, can I have a dynasty, please? In my lifetime as a Philadelphia fan, can I get one of that's all I want. That's the last. I won't ask for anything else. Please, Santa, please, can I have a dynasty, please? That's all I want, Monte.
Orrie, we'll end with this. Thank you so much for coming on. But Orrie, it's been a hell of a run this year. I mean, come on, man. You went to the World Series, which once you fired Joe Girardi, no one saw that happening. And they played in the division with the Braves and the Mets, who both won 100 games. So you go to the World Series. Now you have your team going to the Super Bowl. And the Philadelphia 76ers are going to be a top 3 seed. So it's a hell of a run right now.
It is, Monty, and it is, and we'll take it because we feel in Philadelphia we have been long, or some of us older Philadelphia fans have been long-suffering fans. If you're in your 20s, you're like, what you talking about? But somebody that's over the age of 30, we feel like we suffer. And the ridicule, Monty, that's the other thing. To be ridiculed by our New York friends, our Boston friends, our fake-ass Dallas friends, to be ridiculed by them all these years. No, we deserve this, Monty. It's a lot of scars, bro. I got a lot of scars here, man. I need this, Monty. I need this in my life.
Orrie, love having you on. Hey, thanks. I know you're busy. You're going tomorrow. How can we follow you? How can we support you? I'm making a big announcement at the end of the show. I'm going to be transitioning from Team MBS Media. I'm going to be doing my own thing. So I want you to come on my show. Going to be doing the same basic thing just for my own brand. So how can we follow you? How can I support you?
Awesome. First of all, congratulations to that. You are the man. You are one of the best in this business, man. And I absolutely love talking to you. Thank you for granting me access to be on your show. You can follow us at TKO Podcast. Check out our YouTube channel. We are definitely trying to elevate and do some different things right now. But check out some of our old episodes. You know what I mean? And we're looking for suggestions from people from different kind of things. But definitely follow us. Go to YouTube, subscribe, hit that subscribe button. TKO Podcast, Trending with Keisha and Orrie. TKO Podcast on YouTube, Trending with Keisha and Orrie. Check out our old episodes, and hopefully that you love it. Me and her, we go at it. She's like my sister, so you want to see like brother and sisters kind of argue, talk about sports. She's very passionate about it. Definitely, let's check us out.
Love it. And Orrie, once you get back, I will be hitting you up with an email telling you what I'm doing, exactly where I'm going, so you can be a part of it. Always love the time. I think you're going to be very happy, and I think they're going to win. So enjoy the flight, enjoy the city, and good luck to you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Love everybody out there. Appreciate y'all.
Take care. That was Orrie Hicks. Does a great job. Okay, we're going to bring on Amarie Castillo. You know, my mom said this morning, she's like, wow, she has not been on in so long. Listen, she's busy. She's my co-host with Brad Ward. Amarie, how are you today?
I miss you guys.
Everyone misses you. We're having trouble with the chat, but people were so excited when I tweeted out that you were coming on the show. So how are things going, Amarie?
Can I first start with Orrie complaining that he has some, like he's at the Super Bowl? I have never even seen one in my lifetime. Okay, so Orrie, just enough. Okay, you want to talk about suffering fans? Come over to Minnesota.
Amarie, he said to me, he goes, you know, in my lifetime, I've only seen the Eagles go to 4 Super Bowls.
I'm like,
what?
I'm like, heartbreak after heartbreak. The Eagles especially broke my heart because Minnesota could have played a Super Bowl in their own stadium.
Yes.
I'm picking the Chiefs tomorrow. Anyways, I'm doing great. I have been so busy, but you are one of my favorites, people to work with, and it doesn't matter how busy I am. I'm going to make time for you, Monte.
No, I appreciate that. As you can see, welcome back, Sports Diva. People love you. So glad to have you on. Okay, so we were going to start with a bunch of stuff related to the NFL, but Amarie, since you live in this state, let me tell people what's going on. New allegations involving the New Mexico State program involving multiple players hazing a teammate on more than one occasion. Police report was filed in the last 24 hours. This got so bad, Amarie, they shut the program down. What the hell is going on?
Oh my gosh. Okay, for all of that, all of you who don't know anything about New Mexico, I mean, majority of my friends in New York didn't even know as a state. We have 2 universities here, the University of New Mexico Lobos and the New Mexico State Aggies down south. This is about the New Mexico State Aggies. So they have had just a terrible season in general. And I'm not talking on the court. They were really excited. They got Greg Heyer as a new coach. New Mexico State Athletics, as much as people probably don't know much about them unless you live here or, I don't know, just whatever. Okay, so they've had a really good year. Jerry Kill won a bowl, like New Mexico State won a bowl this year. And they were just, the New Mexico State athletic programs were improving. Well, it's a big rivalry between UNM and New Mexico State, just like any other colleges or states, right? So there was a shooting earlier in November where a college basketball player by the name of Mike Peake, who played for New Mexico State, killed a UNM student. And then ever since then in November, and it was the night before the shooting happened. The night before the UNM New Mexico State game, it was suspended, and ever since then, it's just been one thing after another with New Mexico State, and there's still allegations with the coaches involved in the shooting. So this is a whole entire different thing. Because when I read the headline this morning, I thought it was going to be, oh, new evidence has came out that the coaches did this or that, whatever, because we still haven't figured out what has happened with the shooting and what's going to happen, whatever, with the charges. So this is a whole different story. So you had a shooting and now you have hazing. And so what a hot mess, because these programs in New Mexico have been struggling in general. So to have it shut down, and basketball was the one good thing this state has had for both universities.
They've made the both have made. I remember, growing up, and even last couple of years, both teams have made appearances in the NCAA tournament, and that's great for a school like that because it's a ton of money.
Yep, and it's the only thing that is a recruitment tool for student athletes and to help build programs here.
Yeah.
So the fact that we got a new coach, because we had Chris Jansen, he went to Mississippi State. He did a really good job while he was here. It's just so sad to see this happen, and I feel so bad for some of these athletes. It's just heartbreaking.
My dad is speaking for the entire family. The whole Perez family misses you. Wow.
I miss you guys. I know. I'm working like crazy right
Marie,
now.
Don't apologize. Don't apologize. You're doing what you love, and we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
But just to really put a end to this. This must have been a total abuse, maybe sexual abuse. Who knows what the hell happened? But Amarie, for them to shut the entire program down, this has to go above and beyond, and nothing. They must have this all documented on video, on voicemails, something, because they closed down a moneymaker.
And that is the driving moneymaker, I'm telling you, for both universities here in New Mexico. So I'm just mind blown this morning, because when I first heard the headline, I was like, oh, this has to do with the shooting in November. No, this is a completely different thing. So I'm anxious to see. I'll keep you guys posted, because obviously my station will be heavily covering this throughout the week.
Yep. Okay, Amarie, before we get into your Vikings and the NFL, so if I'm picking a team over the next 5 years, Amarie, it's got to be the Bengals and the Jags. If you look at that, these are the teams without a Super Bowl. It's your Vikings, the Titans, the Browns. Brad Ward couldn't join us today. But out of all these teams, who would you be most confident in to get to a Super Bowl and win it? Would it be the Bengals and Joe Burrow?
Yeah. Oh, hands down, Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Hands down. I think Joe Burrow and the Bengals and the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes is our new Brady winning duo. We're going to see them a lot. And Josh Allen will, I think, and the Bills will sneak one in there. But I definitely think the Bengals and the Chiefs are definitely going to dominate. I like your thoughts on the Jaguars, and I'm not sleeping on them. I think they're going to be really good in the future.
Yeah, I do too. And Amarie, this is not a one runoff thing. I have not believed in the Bills for 2 years.
I know you haven't been on the Bills train. I'm still on the Bills train. And they got rid of Leslie Frazier, and sometimes I think I'm on Josh Allen, the Bills still. I thought it was going to be this year. We said it all throughout the season. Not you. You were never on top of it. I know me and Brad Ward were. So I still think Josh Allen will get one.
Okay, and you guys got on me because I started around week 4 saying the Eagles, that's my team. They were my sleeper.
Monte, I was not upset with you that you picked the Eagles. I know I hate them with a burning passion. But when you say my team, you already have the Jets and Packers. I mean, you take on a lot here having all these teams.
Listen, one thing I say, Amarie, you know this. Growing up a Jet fan, why am I loyal to a team that sucks every year?
Hey.
It's like being on a bad job. Why are you going to keep going to a bad job?
I don't know. It's just like I don't know.
I know.
I know. You're just like jaded at some. I'm like soulless now when it comes to
exactly. All right, let's talk about your Vikings first. I want to focus on the positives. I thought this guy should have got some MVP consideration. The monster year he had, Amarie, he was very frustrated, and we'll get to that in a minute, against the Giants. But how special is this guy?
Yeah, I mean, and he is going to get paid.
Yes. Yes.
Justin Jefferson, he's just, a lot of people believe in the sophomore slump, and I just think he's going to get better and better each year. We had a new coach, a new GM, a new staff, a new offense, a new defense, and look at the year he had. So I'm really excited for year 2 with Kevin O'Connell. I do think he was frustrated because they took him out of the game plan in the playoffs, but it's hard when you're the best wide receiver in the league. It's hard.
Yeah.
And we're lucky we have depth at that position as well, but I'm just so proud of him. He's so fun to watch. Future Hall of Famer, calling it already. And I hope we don't waste another Hall of Famer wide receiver.
No, yeah, listen, you have in the past, no doubt. We could bring up, Randy Moss, Chris Carter. Yeah, to name a few. But so I'm in a different mindset with the Vikings because I look at this division and I don't think Aaron Rodgers is all in. We already know that. He's in a dark retreat right now where he's spending like 4 days in darkness.
Right.
He's not all in. I think Aaron Rodgers will probably get traded this offseason. I really do. And I think the Bears aren't going to be that good. I think the Lions' best case scenario is they win 9 or 10 games. Yes, I know you lost a playoff game you should have won, but Amarie, there's got to be optimism for being a first-year coach, making the playoffs, winning the division. TJ Hawkinson is an absolute stud and is going to be there for a couple of years. So why is everyone across the country like, same old Vikings? It's not the same old Vikings.
No. And I'm sick of the fraud talk. I'm like, are you joking me? When we still won that many games with our offense, with the 31st ranked defense.
Yeah.
This is why this is not the same old Vikings. We're not holding on to this defensive coordinator for another 5 years. We got rid of him. Right. So I'm super excited about this team. I've never felt so optimistic. I mean, I'm an optimistic person, and I'm very excited about this Viking team. And I know people are still like, well, you're never going to win with Kirk Cousins. He's our quarterback. He got the job done. If we fix the defense, we would have been fine in that game with that. It's been the defense. It hasn't been Kirk Cousins this year for once. So he had his one bad game, and that's any quarterback. So I'm a lot of great things in the future for the Minnesota Vikings.
So Andrea says, I'm over Kirk Cousins. The national media say, Amarie, my question to you, we just talked about loyalty. Is it the point where you say, okay, Kirk Cousins he can get us so far, but there's a lot of coaches like this, right? Tony Dungy could never win. He leaves. They go on. Marty Schottenheimer could never win. Is Kirk Cousins' ceiling, is it what it is? A good regular season quarterback, but is going to let you down.
Yeah, but see, the problem is this is the best I've ever seen him play under a new coach. And again, it wasn't him in the playoffs. We've been scoring.
Right,
we just give up 30 plus points a game. Yeah. I mean, what else do you want besides to the Eagles and the Cowboys this year, which that was a mess. But I don't know. There's nothing you can do, but I think you can win with Kirk. And why get rid of him at least, or draft a quarterback and start developing someone and have Kirk just be your next quarterback for like the next 2 years?
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would go after a quarterback and develop kind of like what Dallas did with
Kirk, and not a Sean Mannion or any of this nonsense that we were doing before. Get a young, good quarterback. We've never done that before, and just keep it rolling.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think they should draft a quarterback kind of like what the Eagles did with Jalen Hurts, what Dallas did with Dak Prescott.
We're in a very good place right now. Got Brian Flores as a defensive coordinator. I'm intrigued to see him how he does as a defensive coordinator in Minnesota.
He's going to be great. But Brian Flores can coach defense.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. So this is all great. I just think the expectation of the Vikings, people are just always waiting for the letdown. Let's just, especially Viking fans, I'm like, just enjoy the ride. This was a fun season.
Yeah. And I will say this, they are my favorites to win that division next year, right?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't they? Yeah. And Aaron Rodgers is just holding the Packers back. I am so over him. And this isn't because he's a rivalry. I'm just so over him. Okay, what do you want? What do you want? Like, keep doing this stuff during the offseason. Keep the drama going. I'll like him when he's not playing football, but he's so annoying.
And it's not just that. I say this all the time. He's holding the team hostage by at the end of every year. He's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I
I
don't like
need
the
time
coach.
off. Yeah,
I need
but
this. I need that.
hey, Marie,
That's why you have one ring, bro.
one Super Bowl. Not only one ring, he's only went there once, and they've lost multiple playoff games
He's
at
so
home
bad.
with him as the quarterback. I'm over him as well.
I'm
Totally.
like, okay, and he's probably watch him. Oh, my favorite part is, or he's like, oh yeah, Amarie, he's gonna get traded. He's gonna go to a different team. He wants to win a Super Bowl. What team is he gonna go to win a Super Bowl? The Jets? No offense, Monte. The Jets ain't winning the Super Bowl. So
No taken, but
okay, somewhere else. Okay, great, cool.
I think he's going to end up in Vegas. I really do.
Yeah, they're not winning either.
By the way, do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to watch hours of film when he's in Vegas? There's nothing to do in Wisconsin. Let's be honest. In Green Bay, I've been to Wisconsin. I love it there. But for an athlete,
a really cool town.
Milwaukee's a great town. I was just there. I loved it. Okay, so what do the Vikings do this offseason to improve on drafts and in free agency? What do they need to do?
Defense.
Okay.
Defense. Focus on fixing that. We changed our defensive scheme. I don't know what our defensive play calling was this year, so we fixed that. That was number one. We got a defensive coordinator. Number two, we need some DBs. And then also, I'm not concerned because we have depth at this position, but we're gonna have to pay Adam Thielen and Dalvin Cook.
Yes.
So
I would let Thielen go because I think Osborne is good enough.
We have a lot of good young receivers, and TJ Hawkinson, acquiring him was a huge plus for our offense this year. What a dumb trade by the Lions. Horrible trade. So I'm anxious to see what happens with Dalvin Cook because I'm so attached to my players and to Dalvin Cook, to the chef, but also I'm not going to be too upset because we have Alexander Madison and a couple great young running backs that I think are really good and can hold it down because running backs have such a short shelf life and they're not going to get paid like receivers and quarterbacks now these days. So it will be so hard for me because I love Dalvin Cook so much. I'm just worried that we're going to let him go or Adam Thielen. So we're going to have to, a receiver or running back would be good as well.
What do you make when they hired him? What were your initial thoughts? Because I saw this and I was like, damn, that's a great move.
Yeah, that's a great move. Yeah, I just wanted someone with experience. I think I trust Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi, our new GM, and I'm like, all right, cool. These are big Viking moves. Usually we just get grumpy old men. So this is nice. Younger dudes. So this is going to be a lot of fun.
Didn't grumpy old men take place in Minnesota too?
Yeah. We just have these like grumpy old men that are stuck in like the 80s. I'm like, okay, football's changed a little bit. Let's
evolve a little bit. Exactly. Okay, Amarie, let's break this team down. I know you don't like the Eagles.
No, but I respect them. I appreciate both these teams. I will put my feelings aside.
I think the Eagles win this game because they have the best defensive line in football. They had 70 sacks, and their offensive line manhandled the 49ers in the second half. I think the Eagles win this game, and I think they lead from start to finish.
They manhandled a team that ran out of quarterbacks. Okay, so
yes, but they did push them around offensively.
Yeah, no, that game was over when Brock Purdy went down.
Yes,
it was just a punch in the gut. That was just that sucked.
Who are you rooting for?
What
in that game?
The 49ers.
Why? Really?
Because I cannot stand the Eagles, and I actually like what the 49ers have going on right now. And I like the story, the Brock Purdy story.
Okay.
I love
all right, fair enough.
And I love, and they're the number one defense in the league, in my opinion. But anyways, okay, so you're going based off the Eagles.
Offense and defensive line.
I'm going off based off veteran experience and having the best quarterback in the league.
Okay.
I'm leaning towards the Chiefs. Also, this -1.5 spread. Give me a break. You just pick a team up, right?
Just pick a team. Yeah.
Yeah, just pick a team. This is silly. And I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, even though both these defenses are sound. And I think people are sleeping on the Chiefs' defense and Chris Jones.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be whatever quarterback plays better. And they've both been hurt, so I'm so anxious to watch both of them play tomorrow. I'm like, okay, Jalen hurts his shoulder. Mahomes played with 1 foot throughout the playoffs, which is insane to me.
I have some prop bets that my friend Bill, since you're the master of prop bets. Travis
Kelce, call me the master, but I like it. Okay, I'll make it till I make it.
Travis Kelce over 9 catches tomorrow.
Oh man, 9. I don't like that. I like yards. I don't like catches. I don't like catches, and I don't like anytime touchdowns. Let me tell you something about Travis Kelce losing me some money this year. I bet him 4 games, anytime touchdown, and he never scored in any of those games. And then any other game, he'll get 3 of them. Like it throws up a wall.
Well, Amarie, 17. He's played in 17 playoff games. He has over 1,500 yards, 17 touchdowns. So you're saying under 9 catches for Travis Kelce?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think. Oof. I don't. It almost seems too easy.
Okay. Next one. Jalen Hurts over 60 yards rushing.
That's a tough one. 60 yards. Okay, so with him being hurt, I think the game plan is going to be not to have him running. Right? So I would go, I'm thinking like 45. 45 yards. That's what I'm going to put.
So you're saying under?
Yeah.
Juju Smith-Schuster, 6 catches.
Is he healthy?
He's going to play.
Six catches. I don't like these at all.
You like the under in all of them.
This is the hardest part about Andy Reid. He's such a genius. You're like,
he'll spread it around all over.
Yeah. I more would look at Isaiah Pacheco and
other players.
Yeah, because that's too easy. I don't like Kelce or Juju.
All right. A lot of people don't realize this, but Devontae Smith had more catches than A.J. Brown
he's
this year.
Been exceptional this year.
He's been phenomenal. So the question is over 18 catches between the two of them.
Between who?
A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, 18 catches.
18? I don't think.
That's pretty high.
No, I don't like that either.
Okay. Are you checking with your consigliere over there?
No, because we've been we're like, we're going to Vegas for the Super Bowl. So we've been like thinking of our bets all morning. So I'm like 18. No, I don't like it. You know who I like Gainwell tomorrow?
Yeah. And I like Dallas Goedert over 4 catches.
Yes, I like that one.
And then
I like
finally,
Dallas Goedert. I like Kenneth Gainwell for yards. And I don't like the 18 catches at all, Monte.
Okay, how about this? 4 field goals made between the two of them.
Yeah.
I don't like that because these teams like to go for it on 4th down.
I honestly think it's going to be a shootout. The over/under is 51 points right now. They're in Arizona.
That to me is insane. I thought it'd be like 60, 58.
Me too. And they're playing in Arizona. It's in a beautiful, like in a dome.
Yeah.
They thrive tomorrow.
So wow. So all these prop bets that I gave you, you like the unders on all of them. What's your biggest bet right now that you're talking about with your significant other that you're like not sure or you're super confident about?
Oh my God, he loves the coin toss bet. That's
no, come on,
like, get out of here. No, I'm going heavy with running backs tomorrow, and I will make an anytime touchdown parlay.
Right. Okay. All right. And
but
you're going to Vegas.
I like Kelce yards. I don't like 9 catches.
Okay. And Patrick Mahomes over 330 yards. I'm taking the under.
Oh, totally the under. Yeah. These guys aren't fully healthy.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a big running game tomorrow.
But Amarie, we know Andy Reid abandons the running game all the time. All the time.
Yeah. So these little screens, What the Mahomes passes? That's so
Yeah.
ridiculous.
So who do you have winning this game? Give us a score.
Oh, I have, okay. 34-31 Chiefs.
So you're not 100% confident. This is a 50-50 game for you.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Yeah.
God, but that's why I'm so excited about it. Usually going into the Super Bowl, I'm like, all right.
Tom Brady's going to win.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you are absolutely right with the Eagles front line. I mean, they have the most players with the most sacks this year. I mean, they are incredible. I don't think this is going to be Super Bowl against Tampa Bay where the offensive line was trash and poor Mahomes could not play. I think it's going to be a shootout and it's going to be really good.
All right, some quick NFL questions. You're taking one quarterback for the next 5 years. Are you taking the golden child in Jacksonville? Or you
Trevor Lawrence?
Who are you taking there?
I'm taking Jalen Hurts just based off what I've seen this year.
I thought Trevor Lawrence, after that debacle with Urban Meyer, I thought he threw 3 interceptions or 4 interceptions against the Chargers on the road. Didn't face him one bit. No, that was at home. Didn't face him one bit. Came back and won in the second half. I don't know, man. Trevor Lawrence could be special.
Yeah, but I like how Jalen Hurts out of the pocket, and I think people didn't think he could be a complete passer, and I think he's proven that he's different. And man, he's athletic. I think they're both. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be really good. Don't get me wrong. Jaguar fans should be excited for the year they ended up having. Oh my gosh. And Monte, I haven't talked to you since the damn Brandon Staley Chargers Jaguars game. I was thinking of you the whole time.
I mean, is there anything that I said about Brandon Staley that is not true?
No. And I know this is going back to the beginning of the playoffs, but I was like, of course they didn't get rid of Brandon Staley. He is the problem, and they get rid of everyone else. Oh, I was just so upset.
It's unbelievable. And also, it's going to be interesting to see. All right, where does Derek Carr end up? Where does Jimmy G end up? I love the fact I predicted this about week 9 or 10 that the Jets would have the offensive rookie of the year in Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner. The Jets team is good, but they don't have a quarterback. So where do they get one?
Where do they get one? Well, your boy's going to come out of a dark house and supposedly go the Jets. So good luck with that one. What a mess though with Zach Wilson. And then I know the weird lust with Mike White, but I don't know why you have a good defense and a lot of offensive weapons. Why the Jets can't just find a decent quarterback that can stay.
You think Jimmy G ends up there, or where does Jimmy G end up? He's not going back to San Francisco.
No, he's not going back because I think it's going to be Brock Purdy or Trey Lance. I actually would trade Trey Lance, just keep Brock Purdy, in my opinion. But we can save that story for another day, unless you want me to tell you why. I think that Derek Carr is going to go to the NFC South. I think there's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks between Tampa Bay, the Panthers, or the Saints.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That's a good destination spot for him. Are you shocked that they totally abandoned Derek Carr in Vegas? Because I don't think he was the problem.
I don't think he was the problem either. And he has been such a good leader through everything they've been through, facing adversity between coaching, on the shenanigans on and off the field. He's led that team. People always pull out he's had the worst stats ever. I like Derek Carr as a quarterback. He's not a Hall of Famer or elite, but he can win you games. He can be a decent bridge quarterback to get you where you need to go. So I don't know why people just don't like him. And the reason why Devontae Adams went to the Raiders was because of him. So
right. Yeah. And not just that, I would take him over Ryan Tannehill any day of the week. And Ryan Tannehill has won playoff games.
Why do people love him so much? The only reason Tennessee has been successful is because of Derrick Henry. It's decent coaching. Get out of here. That's a team. I'm like, okay, you want to call the Vikings frauds? Get out of here.
All right. Hey, Marie, so my friend Bill just texted me. You have to pick over under. You can't take a push. The Vikings 12 wins next year. They play 17 games, so they'd be 12-5.
Schedule, so 5 losses. No, I'm going under.
11-6?
Yeah.
Okay, but you think they win the division?
Yes. And like you said earlier, listen, I love Justin Fields, but they're still a mess. They still need to build around him. They're still rebuild mode. The Packers, until Aaron Rodgers gets them off, I don't feel bad for Packer fans. uh, but until Aaron Rodgers goes, they can't move forward or progress. And the Lions defense is just as bad as the Vikings. So unless they fix that, we'll still be good. But their defensive line improved. The Lions are a good team. They're not bad.
I said the Lions. People got on me all year. I said the Lions.
Remember,
and Jets.
well, Brad Ward and you are the anti-Dan Campbell.
Oh, we can't stand them. Can't stand. But I will say this. His time management is awful. Someone said this week, oh, players love playing for him. I'm like, players love playing for Rex Ryan. It doesn't matter, right? You have to give me someone like Bill Belichick who wins. Like, I don't want my players to love me. I always say this. I don't want my coach to be like, hey, that's a guy I could go out and get a beer with. No, I want my coach, being like Sean McVay, who spends 50 hours a week watching film and has no social life. That's what I want my head coach to be like.
Well, same. And he's like I don't know, a bro. But their offense, credit to them though. Jared Goff had an exceptional season. They have a lot of weapons on that team.
And they have the second best offensive line in football. I mean, their offensive line was really good. Okay, Amarie, so you're going to Vegas. What's the Super Bowl plan? Is it beer, wings? Is it just where you going in Vegas? What's going on?
Okay, so Monte, you would appreciate this. We planned Vegas kind of, not really last minute, but kind of. And next year this is exciting. I'll be working the Super Bowl next year.
Awesome.
I'll be at Radio Row.
That is great news.
I know. I'm just over the moon. Okay, so we usually thank you. I'm like, I can cry. So we usually do food based off the teams. That's what like our new theme has been throughout the playoffs. Like Buffalo, we're having some wings. Like if it's Philly, we're getting some cheesesteaks. If it's Kansas City, we're getting some barbecue. So we are leaving tomorrow morning. So we're hoping just to get to our hotel on the Strip. And I'm going to go straight to that sports bet. And we'll figure it out from there.
All right. Avery, so I went 6-2 picking division winners.
I'm very proud of you.
But the two that I screwed up in, I only lost 2 playoff games this year. I had the Vikings beating the Giants.
I mean, everyone did.
And I also had the Chargers beating the Jags. Those were the only games I lost. But I went 6-2 in the division this year, picking division winners in preseason. The 2 I lost, I had the Rams winning the division, and I had the Colts winning the division.
Hey,
what is your significant other saying about the Colts? What do they need to do? What is this a 5-year rebuilding project?
You quarterback, right? Who do you want? He wants a coach and a quarterback.
Okay.
No. Who do you want in the draft?
CJ Stroud?
Yeah, he wants CJ Stroud.
Okay. Listen, we've seen Justin Fields. I think the Colts are in much better position and much better shape than the Bears because they do have talent. But can we just admit that hiring a guy, Jeff Saturday, out of the booth to come in and coach your team is an absolute disaster?
Yeah, unfortunately, that was an absolute disaster. And I don't think any of us anticipated that Matt Ryan was going to be
that bad.
Like, what a disaster. Like, what a way to end your career. Like, how sad.
By the way, I am not happy with Frank Reich getting another head coaching job because he's been terrible.
I think and I like what the Panthers were doing down there. I'm like, oh, we can't sleep on the Panthers.
Yeah.
And the Falcons, like those are 2 teams I think we're going to be really surprised by. Oh, and by the way, Monty, side note, future bet or prediction, I think Lamar might go to the Atlanta Falcons.
On that turf, he'd be amazing. He'd be super fast. Okay, Amarie, so I just Googled you, and all of a sudden, I just see a ton of pictures of you and radio and everything going on. Tell people what has been the biggest surprise that most people don't know with having your radio show. Is it the prep work? Is it how many hours? Are you always plugged in? How do you unwind?
I'm still trying to learn how to balance everything because I'm on air 5 hours a day, Monday through Friday. And as you know, Monty, that's a lot of energy and just your brain functioning. Hosting a show totally by myself has been a new challenge, but it's really helping develop my voice. And the biggest thing I've learned is radio's a lot like stand-up. Like I'm knowledgeable, likable, marketable, but it's really finding my voice in radio that I'm working on. And I think I'm finally getting to a point. So I'm very thankful for Cumulus Media for putting me on the air six days a week, and to have my own sports show that you can hear anywhere around the world has been a dream come true. Every Saturday, they moved me from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. because of betting purposes. But yes, it's just been, I love radio. And it's basically, I think, a gateway to many more things to come.
Yeah, and people don't realize this. To do a radio show, even do a YouTube show. I used to have a radio show on in New Jersey for an hour, and the amount of prep work that you do
Oh, it's a lot.
before it's not just okay, let me look at the stats. You got to watch games, especially you that's focusing on New Mexico and the college teams. I mean, you're plugged in 24/7, right?
24/7. And then also, I like where I live because sports are on earlier. But, like you living on the East Coast, sports don't end till past midnight. And then I'm up very early and I have to be at the studio early. And then I'm on air from 7 to 10. And just like, it's a hard, I'm trying to learn how to balance and still take care of my physical and mental health while like trying to keep up with 5 hours of just on air time. I'm there all day, but on air time.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm so happy for you, so proud of you, so glad that you are, still coming on my show.
Oh, come on, we're fam. We're fam.
Yeah, no, I sent you and Brad an email, and I'll get to this in a minute. I'm leaving Team NBS. I'm going to be doing my own brand, my own show, my own webpage. Everything's just going to be the full Monte Sports Show. It's time. My success on Facebook Reels and TikTok have really, really propelled me to not stay comfortable with Team NBS and kind of, just invest in myself. You've done that. You've been a tremendous success. How can we follow you? How can we support you? And I will have my show up and running. And of course, we'll still do the Monday night shows with you and Brad.
The Monday nights are my favorite, by the way. And we'll balance those out better with my radio, with my full-time radio. You can follow me. And Monte, I'm so proud of you. And also, you're a big part of why I'm being serious throughout the pandemic. You're someone that took me under your wing. You've been in the game for a long time, and you've given me a platform to help build my voice. This has been great for me to get out there. So I really, really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. So you have been part of the process of making my passion my paycheck. So
I appreciate that, but you do it all on your own. You're a worker, you're a grinder. I see you constantly, if you're doing stand-up, on the air, going to games. And the only thing I don't like is stop doing the prop bets. That's the only thing we disagree with.
The parlays. No, you say
yes,
the
parlays. The parlays. The parlays. Brad's actually winning. Brad's winning. You see how much Brad is winning lately?
Oh, I know. I see it. I see in our little group chat. I'm like, God, why am I the basic better? I should just have Brad on the show. Well, my husband and I joke that we're just gonna, like, in Vegas, we'll go up to the sports bet, hand them money,
right?
And then we're like, who do you want to bet on? We're going to be like, no one, just take it.
Just take the money. Just take the money. But I will say this, doing DraftKings and, it makes it more exciting, right? When you have a prop, if you have a player that has to get over 80 yards, and you weren't going to watch the game, you'll watch the game because of that.
Correct. And in New Mexico, we can't do DraftKings or FanDuel. We have to drive out to the sports bet, like 20 minutes away. Right. But we can't do what I can't wait for Vegas is when we have our DraftKings and FanDuel at our hands. We can do $1, $5 on ridiculous things in live betting. We're really limited here to what we can bet on. So we make
it's not a good place for degenerate gamblers. Florida isn't. I can only do fantasy football. I can't do prop bets on my phone. Yeah, I have to go to the casino.
So I mean, first world problems. But I want to. I wish that's why I'm looking forward to go to Vegas for the Super Bowl. Cause there's ridiculous novelty and exotic bets that we can bet on too.
The coin flip is one of the most popular bets.
Well, that's my husband's favorite. So,
All right, Amarie, I'm shutting down after the show for a couple weeks, retooling, getting back up. Obviously I'll still be active. Yeah, and are you posting stuff on Facebook Reels like I told you to do?
Yes, I'm starting. So I finally figured out how to become a professional page, by the way. So Thank you for encouraging and teaching me that. Right. And follow me at Part-Time Bro and everything. On my Instagram and Twitter, I have a link to where you can hear me on the radio. Seriously, Monday through Saturday.
You know, Amarie, I've really been less and less time on Twitter because I'm starting to realize it's great to build your brand, but there's no money in it. If I
No,
can
there's
make
no
money
money, and
posting,
it's
yeah,
just trolls.
it's just trolls. It's just, and by the way, if you look at any sports fan, the fans know this. It is the most psychotic high-low roller coaster every quarter.
I,
If you follow SKOL hashtag, you would think these people are
I,
mental patients.
okay, my other favorite part is I had to mute my Viking Twitter because my big following, after being affiliate and working with former Minnesota Vikings throughout the pandemic and making content with them, I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, this is so negative. Like
Yeah, no,
they fight with each other. I'm like, we're on the same team.
yeah,
It's either you're Kirk Cousins or not. Like it's like politics right now. It's like
yeah,
right or left. You're Kirk or you're not. Like, and then like you can't be in the middle. You can't be like, well, you have to pick a side, and it's very sad.
you know, it is. And San Francisco 49er Twitter is the same. It's like, I want Jimmy G, I want Trey Lance, I want Brock Purdy. And they're like literally wanting to fight each other over
Yeah,
who's the starting
yeah.
quarterback. I'm like, get a life. It's not that serious.
Get alive.
Yeah. All right, Amarie, love having you on.
Can't wait for the new show.
You are on my last Team NBS show, so I appreciate you coming on. And we'll
Thank
see you in a
guys.
couple of
Thanks
weeks.
for having me.
Have fun in Vegas. Tell your
I'll
husband.
post my bets.
What? Yes, yes. I hope you guys win. Is he, by the way, is he going heads or tails, or you haven't picked it yet?
Tails. He says tails never fails.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Stay tuned.
All right. Take care.
Goodbye.
Great job, Amarie. Oh, my dad. Look at this. What's a very just heard three say. Wow. Yes. Yes. You know, Orrie is very kind to me. So is Amarie. Very kind. Listen. So I said at the start, the show, we are making a change. I've been with Team NBS. I started, I think, 5 years ago when it was Nuts and Bolts Sports. And I was just writing articles maybe once a month. And then I started doing a podcast about 3.5 years ago. And then I started doing my own YouTube show. Made a lot of friends here. Actually, I think I brought George Lopez and Greg Rector over to what was Nuts and Bolts Sports, now Team NBS. I want to thank Joe Cardozo and everyone from Team NBS. It's been a hell of a run. Anytime I wanted to do something, Joe never ever said no. Anytime I wanted to talk about something, Joe never said no. He let me do whatever the hell I wanted. And over the last 3 years, I've written 600 articles for Team NBS. I've done over 350 YouTube shows, podcasts. So I've worked my tail off to help them become better. And the one thing you want to see when you're building a company like Joe has, as me, who's been a part of them for years, I think I'm leaving the company way better than when I started with it. Team NBS Media is going to be fine without me. They're going to grow. They're going to thrive. They're going to do tremendous things down the road. You know, Joe texted me yesterday and basically said, can we still do NBA games? We announced NBA games with the live feed. And I said, yes, we can do that. This is not goodbye. This is just a new beginning for me. It's time for me to take everything I've learned over the past few years and bring it to my own brand and what I want to do as a sports broadcaster and sports contributor. So stay tuned over the next couple of weeks. You're going to be seeing a lot of different things on my social media accounts on what I'm trying to do. I have tremendous support from my friends, my family, so I appreciate that. And I appreciate all of you tuning in every week. I know it's hard. There's a lot of things out there. Everyone was running around today trying to get ready for the Super Bowl, and still people are chiming in, commenting here and there. I appreciate that. I appreciate Team NBS. It's been a great run. I'm going to miss those guys. But again, it's not the end. It's just the beginning. And I'm sure down the road, our paths will cross again. So for my last Team NBS YouTube show, I want to thank you all for listening. Make sure to subscribe to the Team NBS YouTube channel. It's been a hell of a run. It's been a hell of a run, and it's going to continue. It's just going to be different branding, but I will be continuing to do shows, writing articles, and moving forward. Thank you all for watching. In the mortal words of Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back.
They were worried about cold blood. and bring the heated.
Whoa, look at that reaction. Look at that.